Doesn't have a coffee filter. The one that has the soft
coffee filter. Okay, because the coffee filter will collect the oil and then let the water go through, you think? Okay. And why did you guys pick nylon? I'm just curious how you chose that.
Because it'll like filter it.
So you think that the water will
And then,
go through it, but
like,
the oil will Okay, so you kind of think they have similar properties?
I think it would work good if you put the coffee filter inside the nylon. And then there's like kind of scooped it up and then it go through, and then the water would go and the oil would stay in.
Okay, and the thing is that would be fun, but you guys have to actually try two separate things. So if you can't put them together because each pan is just one of these items. Okay, so if that's it, were you thinking one pan of nylon strips and one pan with coffee filters? Okay, and doing it together would probably be even more effective. But that's one of the things we're doing, just comparing the one item by itself, how much oil can it remove. So go ahead and write your plan. And what was the way you'll measure it? Did you guys write away? This cylinder. Okay, good. Okay, so once you guys have it written, you can go ahead and get what you need to do it.
We did the nylon strips.
Okay.
And we will take a nylon strip and like kind of fold it in half, but with no crease.
Okay.
So it's like this, kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. And then drag it like the back of it through the oil thing, and it should pick up the oil.
Is that why you wanted it to be folded or in a crease? Like
Yeah. So it'll like cup it.
Okay.
And then we'll pour in here, and then we'll put in the cylinder, and then we'll repeat as needed.
Okay, and do it and get as much as you can. Okay, I like it. Are you guys kind of doing your own here and you're gonna do it? Okay. What are you guys looking at doing then? The dispersant?
It should be, we're gonna put it in and see what happens. If needed, we can stir it.
Okay.
And then we put it in a cup. And then we get it into the cylinder.
Okay. I like that. And why would you stir it, or what do you mean when you say it?
Because like, so if it's in there, nothing really happened, then we'll probably just stir it.
What do you guys think a dispersant would do?
Grab it out of the bag. Grab the bag.
Soak it up in the
So you think the soap will actually kind of absorb or soak up the oil? Is what you're saying? Okay. Good. All right, as long as you both have it written, you can. Well, you have dispersants, you can start. You guys might have to take turns with the cylinders. If now it is. What's your question? Dispersant. You guys want dispersant? Oh, okay. That one has these. I wonder if another group just got it. I think they just said there's no nylon.
Oh, we need one of those.
Your group actually, somebody just put an island on the they said. That worked out. I was going to say like a spoon. Yeah, that was great.
You're gonna use that great one.
You could even use that spoon. That's fine.
Stephanie always
And then this is where you're going to write your materials and name them.
Graduated
It pushed the oil off to the side.
Did it right away? Or which one now? This one?
I'll try. I think you try, okay? How will we just take turns doing this?
like it'll overpower.
Dipping on the oil.
Looks like you did catch kind of a ball of it, though, didn't you? Did it roll off of there, kind
Yep, there's definitely oil in
Do you guys need a bag of supplies, too?
we're supposed to put all the oil.
Oh, in there? Yeah, you can put it in there. So you have soap as one of them. Just a spoonful should probably be enough. And then what is it with the coffee filters? What is your plan to do with the coffee filters?
Spread it all around. All around.
Filter and...
Can I mix it?
Oops, sorry. And then what?
It was Evan's suggestion. Like,
Oh, okay.
he said, like, you know, how they stuff
Oh, okay. That's cool. Evan, have you seen something with gold mining done before? Or you have too? Okay, on the shovel dash. So then what happens on the shovel? Or what goes through?
I don't know, I just saw
Sometimes they do.
I saw like
So, like, they would take a big scoop and, like, try to find gold.
hey, look at
So does the gold usually get caught?
Yeah.
So that's what you guys try to do and catch the oil. Okay. What is happening, you guys?
sparkly.
Does look sparkly.
It looks sort of like that one painting.
Which one?
It's got like
Is it
this
Starry Night?
spike
Or
thing. It's sort of like, it's got like those spike things, swirls on top of it.
not sure. Is it an old painting?
Yeah, I think it's
Why do you think it looks sparkly when you use that word to describe it?
cleaning.
So it's actually like cleaning it, like sparkly.
I think they're actually little bubbles.
Little bubbles.
We need to measure your
What has it done to the oil, you guys?
It's
How
a
would you describe what's happening?
The oil mixes with the dish soap and gets destroyed. Because I can't really see it. And then the bubbles rise at the top.
So do you think you'll be able to collect oil?
No, if it's
What happens like when you, are those yellow spots concentrated soap or is that an oil piece?
I think that's concentrated soap.
So it's soap. So your oil is really dispersed, isn't it? As hence the name, right? Dispersing. So how do you think this would be like in nature? What would this be a good thing? Do you think there could be harm or?
But it's still toxic to swallow
It's
it.
like cleaning really good, I guess.
Yeah, there's like no, like it's not a liquid anymore, so like you get, if you swallow suds, it's not bad. So
So you're saying that it's better to swallow something like this than oil? If we're in
Question was one of the ideas like taking one of those flies, you know, one of those flies that like drop anti-pesticides and stuff like that on crops.
Oh yes.
Crop duster.
Yeah.
Blade and like filling it with dish soap and then dropping it all over.
You're wondering if that's a way that they do it?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not. I think as far as I know,
And notice how it's getting even bigger, see? And it smells good.
yeah, it smells better. I'm sure. What do you mean it's getting bigger? What did you refer
See
to?
how it's like more concentrated now instead of little swirls? They're like, see how there's like tiny splotches? Now it's like
So what's happening with her when she's going to get these green splotches, and then why do you think they go away?
Going to the bottom of it.
The green part is?
Yeah.
Okay, so what does that tell you? The green is representing what now? Is that the oil or is that the water?
So now it's like right in between the oil and the water.
I think it is kind of part of the water, like you said, Tanner, because remember what food coloring is, right?
Well, actually, like, I noticed, see how this right here, I sort of stuck my finger a little bit in there, sort of, and it's still greasy. So I was thinking maybe like the food coloring and the oil, you know how food coloring just like water would clean it.
Would dye.
There's dye in it, really, so maybe like the oil like is away from the
In this case or in the other one?
and both of them, the oil is like separate from the food dye.
Yeah, when I made the oil and added dye, at first it looked black
Like
and
on
then
this one
separated.
is on the top you can see sort of like a pink line right there.
Yes, I can see the one.
It's still
Because of the soap now. Okay, so now you guys, in terms of collecting, we should go try your next method. Are you going to be able to collect oil, or are we just going to talk about what it did to the oil? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it just
Yeah, we couldn't collect it.
Okay, so then we'll talk about how this could, work in nature or what harmful effects it might have too.
like how could you mix it and like you can't do it all over the ocean.
Well, they have used this as a cleaning method before. As one of the cleaning methods. It's not usually the only method they have tried, but and there are some good and bad
I think
effects.
there's still oil in there because I just
So you can feel the oil
so you can feel the difference. Feel the support.
right here.
Right here.
Yeah, I can feel the difference. whatever you want out of the bag. So you can have, I think there are 6 of those in there. So go ahead and try that.
Should we just use 2?
Yeah, do whatever you guys think.
Could we take the rock out?
No, let's leave it in because I haven't said anybody can. So.
Okay, so how would we do it?
Well, what would you do? Like, think about in real life, the land is there, but how are they going to clean up around it? You just have to. What do you guys think this will do then? She kind of said, what do you think?
Kind of get it in here and then like let it stay in there, and then the water would kind of would be kind of like our rocks.
Oh, with her.
The salt, it might be like that.
Okay, so what would be like the salt in this?
The oil's thicker, really.
Do you remember the name of the powder that we caught in that lab? It was a weird word. Diatomaceous earth is what we caught.
Wait, no. Wait, guys, what you're supposed to do is like hold it.
Will the water go through? So, or
Yeah, make it go through. And I'm pretty sure the oil. So yeah, just try to get in the center.
Is the water going through though, or okay, a little bit went there?
You're supposed to make it. Guys, you're supposed to make the oil through.
See what you can get. All right, what are you guys doing?
We're gonna do this thingy-majiggy.
Coffee? Oh, and the pipette. Sorry. And what do you guys think will happen with the pipette?
Pick up the oil if we put it on the surface.
You'll get the oil from the surface. Is that what you said?
Yeah. But not in the all the way inside of it.
Okay. Okay. And then what do you guys think the coffee filter? Or have you already tried this? No. No. Okay. What do you think it will do?
The oil will stay right there and the water will go through.
Okay. And have you guys ever had oil in a filter before, or do you just assume? Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Okay. All right. Let's see what happens. Go ahead and start because we're running out of time.
Give me that kind of pipe here. We should put the rocks.
Yes. Yeah. And you know what? It's actually a vegetable oil. So if you have ever done any kind of baking where you add oil to like muffins or pancakes or anything like that, it's that oil. And I think well, what do you guys think? I should ask you what's happening to the color. Why is it not staying in the oil?
Because our color is water and they don't green.
Exactly.
So the top is oil.
So even
it's pretty even. So it's like 35 to 50. So 5, 10, so 15.
Okay.
Even more.
Yep. And then what would you just predict? You can just estimate. It doesn't look like it's quite as much as 15, does it?
Maybe 70.
So yeah. So then 20 more. Just
My
like what you
hands
said.
are all covered in oil.
Yeah. So was this the nylon method? You got all that oil? That worked pretty well.
I just started doing this.
And then you'd catch it.
Yeah, but we kept getting water.
So then you would pour it in there and then put it in there and then they'd separate.
But I like oil.
That looks better than some methods I've seen.
It's kind of like how the chips use like the leaves and soak up.
Yeah.
We tried getting the oil out right there.
That is a lot like that. You guys are as smart as chimps. You're making tools, right? Yes. Go ahead. What did you find, you boys, with the dispersant?
It actually had a method.
In what way do you think it's not working?
It's not really going away.
You're technically repolluting the water too.
Okay.
The soap will stay in the water,
That's a great
And
point.
the animals can't eat soap.
Okay. So do you think that's a different effect than what, like we already talked about, using Dawn soap to clean?
It's not as bad as the oil, but if it gets in their system, they can get sick.
It's an unhealthy thing, right? So
Like we do.
yeah, if we would ingest soap, that would not be good. Do you think that this is good though to get it broken up so that it's not clumps of oil? Like if you think about nature, and
Soaking up more oil.
so there are some benefits, but then you guys said there are some risks that go with it. So maybe.
Our big ring of oil is gone.
Well, you guys ended up looking like you absorbed most of it, so it's a good thing, right? If this was your land, would you be happy with what you did here? Yeah, you would probably be helping out a
And
lot.
then there's still more oil in here.
Yep, you're getting a little bit more each time. Good. Hi. What did we find, you guys? Oh, there are no more cylinders? Okay. You guys, can we take that cylinder for this group? Thank you. There you go. What are you finding over here? You're doing the pipette? You're just starting it. Okay. What is,
Like it's not doing anything really.
okay. And what do you describe what you mean when you say it's not doing anything?
Because like it didn't really like take away any of the oil.
Okay.
Like yeah, it just kind of made it like sparkly.
Okay, so it made it sparkly and clean.
It's not really cool.
Do you think that this is good to have it into these smaller fragments rather than the big clump of oil, as far as if you think about the vegetation, so the plants and the mangroves and those things, and then for the wildlife too? Would that be a benefit?
I think so because it's a lot lighter.
Okay.
And, like when we stirred it up, because like I could blow it and it's be a lot easier.
Okay. But then what would be some cons? Like what would be a disadvantage?
I mean, it's still not good for them to be like eating the dish soap.
Yeah. If we had
It
dish
still
soap,
is
what would
like
happen to us if we got a lot of that in our system? It'd be like a poison in our system. So, as well, it has some good advantages, but it has some things that could still be harmful too. So maybe it's not our best method. How is this going for you?
Taking forever.
I think that's about true about just it when it comes to oil spills. It takes forever.
Can we get another one of these to see? Because like this isn't like really cleaning it; it's just kind of transferring it.
Can you see though the separation? You can already see her layer of oil on top of the water.
Yeah.
So it is working. Yeah, if you want to find it. You could try that, yes. Follow up and see what happens.
Okay, Brian. I was going to like we could take this and then put it in here.
So you're saying put it in here?
With the oil in there.
Like that, the oil from that one? Because, oh, you want to, oh yeah, you already got your number. Did you write it down somewhere? Okay, perfect. So now, and then you want to pour and see what else you collected. That's great.
You did water.
That's a good job.
All the oil will still go to the top, okay? Careful.
Oh yeah, no.
We tried it once and then there was a ton of water, so then we dumped it out and thought maybe if we tried it again and tried to get a lot
Okay,
more
can I
oil.
hold this up once and see? Oh, well, it's kind of stuck there. Do you guys see the dark layer and then the lighter layer? What are those, do you think? Yeah, so the green, the oil did start out as the color thing, and it separated, and it went to the water because we already talked about that. That's like water with dye. So you are making progress, even though it seems like tedious work.
Yeah.
You're getting something, right? Now, did you guys actually get any out with the dispersant?
No, it just made it foggy.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I think it made it a little more. Yeah, no. Like made it more liquidy.
Yeah.
Okay, so is it as far as like the
We were
big?
thinking maybe if we tried putting it through like a filter, not necessarily a coffee filter, but like a small one.
Okay, and even binder filter, that you might be able to catch some of it. Okay, so think about nature, you guys. If we have our big mass of oil, it's called an oil slick, actually, is what they call it. Would this be a good thing to do something like this and to break it up more, or do you not think it's much of a benefit? Why do you not think so?
Because if the soap would kind of pollute the water even more, it's kind of going to be hard to get all of the oil out with that.
That is an argument that people say, is that you're putting another harmful thing into the environment.
And if it worked, I would do it, but it doesn't work all that well.
So you're finding that if it worked, I would do it, but this isn't working bad. So, okay, good. Okay, guys, if I can just kind of wrap up and see what conclusions we have found from our experiments. I think almost every single group tried the dispersant, or maybe 5 of the 6 groups it looks like. What do you guys think are the advantages and disadvantages of trying a dispersant, like if this were in real life too? What do you think, Steph?
The soap will still be bad for the animals because if they ingest it, they can get sick.
Okay, so we're still
And
putting...
it'll stay in the water too. So
Okay, good.
it's harder to get out.
And what is an advantage? The people who had a dispersant, what was something good that happened with it?
It's like lighter stuff.
Okay, and it's
heavy and thick.
okay. So it kind of separated it into smaller particles. And we haven't talked about some things that happen naturally in nature, you guys, but the sun is actually a big aid in helping to get rid of the oil because oil will eventually evaporate. So if you use a dispersant, that's something that they argue that dispersants are a good thing in that respect because they'll break it up into smaller pieces, and then what will happen as far as evaporation if it's in smaller?
It will be easier. It will take less time.
Okay. So it'll take less time. Good. Who else would like to share a different method and maybe a little success that went with it? What did you guys find, Bree?
We did the nylon,
Okay.
and we thought it was pretty good. We got, we would like fold the nylon in like half, and
Okay.
then, so there'd be kind of a loop, and we would drag it through the water, and we got 25 milliliters of oil.
That's awesome. What did you guys find too, like, as when you use the cylinder, was it easy to see where the oil and the water were separate? Was that an easy visual for you guys?
Yeah, because it was a lot lighter.
Okay, so it's kind of funny. We started with our dark oil, but why did that color go to the water instead of the oil?
The coloring is like water,
It is. So
and it
it's,
doesn't agree.
and it doesn't agree with it. You're right. And kind of like MC said, you know, it's drawn to the land.
Oil doesn't mix with like anything really.
You're right. It does not mix with water, which is why it's often sitting on the top of the surface of the water. Any other methods? Do we have any other successful methods? Yes.
Well, Alex is trying to get the
not working
cylinder thing, but
Okay.
it's kind of working, but
Using the pipette?
yeah.
Okay. Well, you guys have a lot of oil here. Can I show the class? Guys, see their oil? Or is this a good system? Look at the amount of oil they have compared to water. Where's the water? Can you see it? I'm turning, I can barely even see the water. So slow. I've heard a lot of you guys say slow process. Do any of you know how long it can take to clean up an oil spill, or have you ever heard about real life situations? What did you say?
Doesn't it take a couple of
It can take years. What else?
Like right now we're on our second year and yet we're still cleaning off the oil like a little bit since.
When you're comparing like what we saw in the video.
Yeah, made good progress.
Yeah, we've made progress, but what other effects can carry on for years? Not just the fact that the oil's there, but what else can be affected? Yes.
Wildlife
Okay, the wildlife. So what's happening to the wildlife over years after an oil spill?
dying.
Okay, so we have populations decreasing. What is that? How does that affect maybe other wildlife? How could that affect them, Evan?
The herbivores could die off, and then there would be no food for the carnivores.
Okay, so you're saying starting with our vegetation and our mangroves and those things we talked about from our video, if those are suffering and dying, then our herbivores are suffering and dying, and then he's talking about our carnivores. So we're affecting a lot bigger picture than what you might think it starts out with. What do you guys think it would be like to be a part of the real oil spill cleanup? What kind of job would that be?
That would not be fun.
Not a very fun job.
It'd be interesting though.
What do you think would be interesting?
Just to see, like, just trying to help out and see how the
Okay.
animals are doing and just, like, see where it really hits the areas and stuff.
That's
see the change that happens over the time. See if it gets worse or if it gets better, or like how different animals react to it.
I agree. You get to be a part of the impact and see like improvement and watch like, hey, I saved an animal. It took a long time, but I'm making a difference. What else?
Like just like what Maya and Abby said, I think like it'd be like very interesting because you get to like go like you'd see the Gulf before it happened,
Yes.
and then you can tell like what steps it took just to sort of restore it, but it also made very differences. Like all of us, for example, we started as like tiny children, and our emotions change and all that, and basically we're still growing yet, just as the Gulf of Mexico.
That's a great analogy. You have good analogies. So to see that change over a long period of time, rather than just being in our state and not really being a part of it, to actually see it and say, hey, we aren't fully recovered, but look at how far we've come. And like look at where we were, look at what happened after the disaster, and then look at the impacts we're making. Thank you, guys. And we will stop. It's 12:04. So.